Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my reaction videos. So today I'm going to be reacting to the new episode of Death Battle which just came out, which is Akuma from Street Fighter versus Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Now you might be wondering why I'm reacting to it on the Rooster Teeth website right now as opposed to YouTube. It's because that on YouTube it's actually premiering a little later than it normally does. I'm not sure why, but it got uploaded or made public on Rooster Teeth at the regular time. So it's not out on YouTube as I'm recording this right now, but it is out on Rooster Teeth, so I thought I might as well just do it on Rooster Teeth. Even though I prefer doing it on YouTube, this is fine for this instance. So, yeah, that's why I'm here. But yeah, in terms of this fight, I'm pretty excited for this episode. I wouldn't say that this is the fight idea that gets me, like, the most excited out of all the fight ideas that have happened on Season 8 so far. But still, I think it has the potential to be a good episode. I'm looking forward to it. In terms of who I'm rooting for, in general, I like Mortal Kombat more than Street Fighter, but I think I like Akuma more than Shao Kahn, just personally. In terms of who I think is going to win, though, I'd probably lean more towards Shao Kahn just because I think the scaling that he could possibly get is, like, just on a higher level than Akuma. But, who knows? Maybe they're going to include scaling for Akuma that I don't think they will, or maybe Oni just has something really impressive that I'm not aware of. But yeah, I'm just excited to see how Death Battle analyzes it. So without further ado, let's get to watching. He'll turn it up a little bit.
Akuma, Street Fighter's supreme master of the fist. Shao Kahn, conqueror of Mortal Kombat. Today, we'll find out which final boss reigns supreme. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
It is interesting how they've both been in other fights before, with other characters from each other's worlds. Oh, it's gonna be 3D, alright.
This is the Japanese kanji for heaven, symbolic of the infinite sky above and the one who stands before it. And the last thing you'll ever see when you meet Akuma. Trained by Master Gotetsu at an early age, Akuma was practically born into the ways of fighting. He and his brother
owns Akumart in an alternate timeline.
Literally
wow.
The assassination fist. Everybody says martial arts are all about meditation and being zen and all that other bullshit.
Not always.
Well, Hansatsuken ain't like the other guys. It combines judo, kenpo, and karate into a unique style that's all about murdering your opponent as fast as possible.
Usually. For Akuma, absolutely, yeah.
The brothers' views on their training greatly differ. Goken rejected the violent methodology of the Hansatsuken, leaving to develop his own, less lethal variant of the form.
Yes, which we've seen analyzed so many times now.
Clearly needed less assassination. Yeah, good thing Akuma.
I know, it's so annoying, right?
Real deal. He got so hardcore, he started training to embrace the biggest martial arts secret out there, the Satsui no Hado.
Hell yeah.
Ever malicious, this is a manifestation of literal killing intent. Only Gotetsu had ever mastered this dark power. So it's like the dark side of the Force, but with karate? No, but sure. With the Satsui no Hado,
yeah, it's like, yeah, the evil side of things.
All compassion. This is the power of monsters. More like winners. Akuma got so good he challenged his master and killed him Sith style with his ex-master's beads around his neck.
Sorry about the lighting, by the way. I don't know what's happening today.
Of the Satsui no Hado. Obviously, this destroyed his relationship with Goken. The two brothers' destinies, let alone ideologies, were irreparably torn apart. But who cares when Akuma's perfected all the abilities of an overpowered Shoto character and then some? He can rain down Go Hadoukens, teleport with the Ashura Senku, and take you for a whirl with the Tatsumaki Zankyukaku. And if Akuma ever wants to...
He's actually pronouncing things properly now.
Forth the Kongo Kokoretsuzan, a geyser of pure energy strong enough to sink an island.
Yeah.
With all this power, Akuma is among the toughest Street Fighters out there. Which says a lot when Hakan could loop himself up with enough oil to, get this, launch E-Honda into orbit to headbutt a giant meteor into smithereens. Well, there's only one way
if you compare him to other Street Fighters, like, it's crazy.
Get ready to launch. Oh, that's okay.
Lube. Jesus Christ.
It's over 500 trillion tons. Oh, can we still do it though? Fine. But did you know Akuma's also traded blows with some of the folks from Final Fight? I guess they're Street Fighters too. And the Macho Mayor Mike Hagar can pile drive people so hard, it makes an explosion you can see from space. Comparing the blast size to Earth diameter, this explosion must have a yield of over 120 teratons of TNT. That might seem nuts, but hey, Akuma's done the same kind of thing. No wonder the only guys who can match him are badasses like Goken. Akuma would challenge Goken again and again,
determined to prove his version of the Ansatsuken was superior. And apparently, he was right, as he defeated Goken with his signature technique, the Shun Goku Satsu.
AKA,
Although he did survive, but people didn't know that yet.
Akuma gives in to his killing intent, targeting a person's soul and killing their spirit with the weight of their sins.
Yeah.
There is only one known way to survive it, emptying your own soul from your body.
The power of nothingness.
Goku knew exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of souls, this guy Nakali once tried to take Akuma's by devouring him.
Yes.
Not being into war, Akuma just blew him up.
It didn't work.
He's so powerful, defeating an opponent takes less effort than smacking a baby. Not that Akuma would ever do that. No, I'm serious, he never would, because despite the whole zero compassion thing, he has a weird code of honor.
It's not compassion at all. To Akuma, fighting is a sort of religion, and respecting the art is more important than anything. He'll spare those
I can buy that.
Advantage and those whom he deems
Makes sense for Akuma.
like him and can improve. In this way, he sort of became an unwanted mentor for Goken's student Ryu.
Hey, he's not a total killjoy. He did befriend Elena. Well, more like Elena befriended him, but whatever.
But should you disrespect the art of fighting, Akuma will not hesitate to murder you, as disrespectfully as possible.
Like when he jumped that a-hole M. Bison so fast he killed him in one shot. And Bison was quick enough to tag this satellite laser beam.
Following the beam speed at this angle, we can determine it was moving well over 5,000 times the speed of sound.
But even
That's
with
very
all that
fast.
Power, Akuma knew he'd never be at his best until he'd mastered the Satsui no Hado and become Akuma Blanco. Shin Akuma.
Yeah.
As Shin Akuma, he possesses full control over the dark art, using it to its fullest extent.
Only Gotetsu had ever mastered
I'm
the
still
Hado
waiting
like
for
this,
Oni.
Because doing it is not just super difficult.
Because they are going to
it's
use him,
super
right?
dangerous.
They've hinted at that.
The Satsui no Hado isn't just a form of energy, it is a sentient entity, striving to push those who connect with it to fully commit to their rage. For when they do, they are no longer themselves. They become the Satsui no Hado itself.
Yeah, like when it
Wow.
tried to take over Ryu and manifest it as its own evil person, Kage. Akuma truly believes the Hado is his best chance at becoming the ultimate world warrior. But he also knows
Understandable.
if he's not careful, he could lose himself to it.
And when he does, the Hado will take his body and become the awesome, demonic Oni.
There we go.
He's super powerful. Oni's got all sorts of new moves and can easily overpower pretty much any other Street Fighter.
In Japanese folklore, Oni are yokai, or demons, that spawn from the souls of the wicked upon death.
Wow.
However, in some legends, the most evil of humans can actually transform while still alive. Such as Shuten Doji, a drunken monk who gave in to malice, became an Oni, and was so powerful he could not die, even after he was decapitated.
Not so different from this big bad blue boy. But hey, Akuma hasn't lost himself to the
Okay,
dark
have
side
we
of the
seen
Hado
Akuma
yet.
survive that,
The dude
though?
Split apart mountains, taking a leisurely trip to the bottom of the ocean, and literally leaped into the land above the clouds. He just jumped, and he was there.
How?
And standing before heaven, this dude straight up flies above it.
Akuma's lust for battle will likely never be sated, but his chosen path has been set. He will either be the world's deadliest man, or its bleakest failure. Until then, he will never stop searching for a foe who can challenge the might of his Satsui no Hado.
All right. There's quite a bit in that analysis that surprised me. I'll give him that. Because I don't know the most about these characters anyway. And that's fine with me.
The world is a twisted, barren wasteland where only the strong survive.
Definitely at the bottom of my list of places to go when I retire. And it's all thanks
Oh, I'd
to
wanna
the
go there for
incredible
sure.
Lord Shao Kahn.
Thousands of years ago, Shao Kahn was an advisor to the Dragon King, Onaga.
Until Onaga took a permanent nap when Kahn poisoned
So
him and
weird to
blamed
like
the
compare
Ronin on
this to
himself.
like their
Now
old
that's when I
analyses
go
back in the
climbing
day,
political
like
ladder.
years ago.
Army of demonic
They've
Tarkanas
improved
and
so
400
much.
Shokans at his beck and call. Shao Kahn began conquering and merging other realms with Outworld, including the once idyllic paradise of Edenia.
After
Yeah.
which he hooked up with Edenia's queen, Sindel. But
We
his
saw her last
didn't
season.
just win him a traitorous milk. The crafty bastard also picked up a ton of awesome powers.
Khan is a deceptive leader who isn't afraid to resort to, quite frankly, dickish methods to achieve his devious goals.
He's basically a wrestling heel in the form of an otherworldly invader, right down to dressing like a male stripper.
And despite living
I
on
mean, yeah,
a kind
kinda.
of existence, he's somehow mastered 2 Chinese martial arts, Daizu and Liu Wei, both of which prioritize fast and aggressive strikes to overwhelm opponents.
But Kahn's real bread and butter is his mastery of magic. He can
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
fireballs, create portals, make you his telekinetic yo-yo, bounce projectiles back to sender, and
Okay, that'll
conjure
help
his
a little
signature
bit.
hammer whenever he wants.
With his
The Wrath Hammer.
Khan can
Ah, crap. Okay, give me a sec.
Hey everybody, we're teaming up with HBO Max for a very special house.
combatants
With a K!
to pieces with his
All right, sorry about that.
fatalities. But
Even on
perhaps
Rooster
the
Teeth, you can't avoid the ads.
taking souls.
With just a wave of his hand, he can dine on some fine soul food, courtesy of whatever sap crossed his path.
Khan went far with these abilities.
Well, we know Akuma can
All
resist
for his
that to a
conquering
degree.
on sight of a little planet called Earthrealm.
But first, his forces had to rack up enough wins in Hit the Music Whiz.
We don't have the licensing rights.
Mortal Kombat.
I'ma stop there so we don't get sued.
Outworld
Good idea.
almost had 10 consecutive wins needed to merge with Earth.
But the goody two-shoes monk Liu Kang just had to ruin it all. But Khan just said, screw it, and invaded Earth anyway.
The moment Khan set foot on Earth, he stole the souls of nearly every human being on the planet.
Wow.
They physically merged Earthrealm and Outworld into one big melting pot of conquest.
The exact meaning of merging realms is a little vague, but from Mortal Kombat 3's intro, we do know that it transforms the planet into part of Outworld itself. But even when he's not literally folding worlds together, Khan is always a threat to behold, far superior
Damn.
to most of the other combatants.
He's a cocky
Yeah.
asshole, but damn, he sure knows how to get stuff done.
He's one-shotted Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, survived being impaled, broke Kotal Khan's back, and
Ouch.
consistently surpassed the likes of the Thunder God.
Shouldn't be surprised it's Mortal Kombat.
Being all thundery is as fast as lightning. Khan could even hold his own when Raiden held the power of all the Elder Gods.
Yeah.
For context, the Elder Goddess Cetrion can grow as large as a planet and fire this hyper-fast laser, which, comparing its speed to the curvature of the Earth, can smite mortals at 2% the speed of light.
Well, you know you're a
2%.
big shot when actual gods
Okay.
think you're a pain. Look at him go!
Don't mistake powerful with invincible. Khan's might is only matched by his arrogance.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
really does love to hear himself talk, even when it leaves him totally open. I guess he doesn't consider the consequences of his constant taunting.
Shut up. There's not time for puns yet,
I
Boomstick.
thought it was funny. You suck.
Khan, even if it can get the better of him, Khan has proven his arrogance isn't completely unfounded. After ages of conflict, all of the combatants fought in a final clash of good versus evil.
And Khan emerged as the last man standing.
It was there that he defeated Blaze, an all-powerful elemental who threatened every realm in existence.
Luckily for the good guys, Raiden had a way to basically go back in time and try to stop Khan from winning in the first place.
Yeah.
That's right. Khan was such a big threat, the only way to beat him was a complete do-over.
And even with that victory now a non-existent memory, Shao Kahn will never relent. Even death has
I mean, he
never
still
stopped
did it,
this
right?
conqueror from his ultimate quest to rule everything.
I am Khan of Outworld. Vacate my throne, or I'll soak these sands with your blood.
Very impressive characters, for
Bets
sure.
are set and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, death battle. Give me a second and pause the video. Okay, so just doing some quick comparisons here. Not even, like, focusing on the soul stuff. Like, you know, being able to... You know, I remember I said in my prediction one time that, like, Khan absorbing so many souls means that, you know, he might be able to resist the Raging Demon, you know, being able to almost, like, sacrifice other souls in his body. Like, maybe that would provide some resistance. And I did remember Akuma withstanding Nikali's soul absorption. So, you know, that's pretty good resistance right there. Maybe they'll pull the card that's like, oh, you know, he hasn't resisted someone as powerful as Shao Kahn before, you know, but regardless, he's still done that, so that's still pretty impressive. But putting all that to the side for a second, it seems that Khan's stats are just better. Like, if we just do the speed comparison for a second, they said that Akuma was what, like over 5,000 times the speed of sound. But even if unless I'm getting something wrong, I believe even 6,000 times the speed of sound is not even 1% the speed of light. And Shao Kahn, they said, was 2% the speed of light. So I'm pretty darn sure that Kahn is faster than Akuma. Unless, I'm just getting some conversions wrong, which is possible. I'm doing this on the fly, but, I believe that Kahn is faster based on what they said. And in terms of Akuma's, like, power, they did talk about, his, like, comparing him to Hagar, was it? Who was able to, like, go from one end of the earth to the other, like, with a pile drive or something like that. It was weird, but it was like what, 200 teratons of TNT or something like that. Like in the hundreds of teratons of TNT, which is really damn impressive already. But they were talking about Kahn literally like merging worlds together, which they said, like it was like they talked about it being as in like the context of planets, which would already be much more powerful than what Akuma could theoretically scale to. But they could say something like, oh, well, that was only Akuma in his base, or like he would compare to Hagar or whoever that character was in his base. What about, with Shin Akuma and Oni? Will that be more powerful, And then there was that whole thing about like Akuma, like the Oni or the yokai can't die or whatever, like even after being decapitated. But if we haven't seen Akuma survive that himself, I'm not sure if we can just assume he can do that. So I'm not so sure about that. So, and they could say like, oh, maybe they'll just go the route like Akuma can resist Shao Kahn's soul absorption, but Shao Kahn wouldn't actually be able to resist the Satsui no Hado because of all of Akuma, or because all of Shao Kahn's sins. It would be super effective against him. I could see them going that route too. But right now, I think I just have to go with Shao Kahn. Like, I'm just predicting he's going to win just because his numbers are better. And I just think, at least from what they've said, and I just feel like that's more reliable as of right now. If they pull something else, then it just means they were like holding back information. So that's not really my fault, So I'm just going to go with Shao Kahn for the win. But I could see Akuma winning. Either way, let's just get into the fight. I'm excited.
Die 1,000 deaths!
Akuma. Yep, definitely. 1 sec.
You dare interrupt my tournament?
Oh, he dared.
Fool seeking my throne. I only seek your life.
The models look pretty good. Lip syncing wasn't perfect, but that's okay. Ooh. Telekinesis. That already, especially with his reaction speed, would be really hard to get around.
You will die. Justice release me.
He's okay. So far, they're both fighting pretty much at their best. But that was a big hit. Wow, home run. Okay, Shin Akuma. Makes sense, they can't keep him in base forever. Oh! Ow! Well, I was expecting there to be shots like that, but even then, they get me every time. He's resisting the soul absorption, it would seem. He was not Shin Akuma for very long. That's a cool shot. I mean, this is still an unexpected power boost. Even if Shao Kahn is still more powerful, it would take him by surprise. Oh. Yikes. Oh! Jeez! He survived being impaled before. Yeah, he just got up. Akuma's just been, like, getting the drop on him. Oh boy. This looks really cool, but oh boy. Oh my god. Oh! I don't know if I call that flawless,
Now that's what I
but
call
holy
a
crap.
With the power of the Satsui no Hado, Akuma was a unique challenge for Shao Kahn.
Yeah, like how he
Yeah.
resisted Nakali suggests Khan couldn't have just yanked his soul away so easy.
Yep.
And Akuma's level of power was nothing to scoff at either.
Akuma's biggest hits were way stronger than you'd think, blasting apart meteors and making explosions seen from space. But Khan survived blasts from beings even more powerful than that.
Yeah.
Like the Elder Gods, who can grow to the size of planets. And remember Blaze? He could destroy all the realms, and even did in one of his endings.
And while Blaze's story ending isn't canon to the Mortal Kombat universe in and of itself, it is still an example of what could happen in canon.
Yeah.
Khan whooped that red-hot ass.
While we do not have an exact time frame for Blaze's destruction of the realms, destroying Earthrealm alone would require at least overcoming Earth's gravitational binding energy, or
Sure.
about 47.8 zetatons of TNT.
Over
It's a lot of
300
tons.
million times the power of the Teraton explosion from Akuma's lineup.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, when Khan merges realms, he is literally morphing an entire planet into Outworld itself. This means it makes sense he could defeat Blaze, because
Yeah.
he already commands a similar level of power.
But I know what you're thinking. What about the Raging Demon, Akuma's awesome finishing move? Shao Kahn has racked up more than enough sin in his time for it to totally burn his
But
soul.
There was always a possibility that Akuma would get a lucky hit in with the Shungoku Satsu.
Okay.
However, given Khan can keep up with the likes of Elder Gods and their space lasers, he could certainly keep pace with Akuma.
And sure,
Yeah.
Khan's an arrogant son of a bitch, but he knows when to get serious. If his arrogance was that big of an issue, he wouldn't have conquered so many
No, definitely not.
Akuma and Khan were among the best of the best in their respective worlds, but this match ultimately came down to who would land their killing blow first. Shao Kahn's overwhelming power, mystical abilities,
So they didn't imply he could resist the Raging Demon,
victory. Outworld's Emperor
but
was the
still,
only one who could
it makes
surpass
sense it wasn't
Akuma.
enough.
The winner is Shao Kahn.
Alright, congratulations, Shao Kahn.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.
Thank you,
We'll
Ben.
jump into the next matchup next week. But you can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there, and by downloading
Well,
the Battle
on
System
YouTube anyway.
down below.
Also, unfortunately, I do know who's next. It's Korra versus Storm. If I just pause it right there. Yeah, Korra versus Storm. So yeah, sorry about that. It was spoiled for me. I try my best to not be spoiled by these things, but sometimes it just happens. But yeah, no. I was actually really not expecting it to be Korra versus Storm. I was like 100% convinced it was going to be Korra versus Rey, because like that just makes sense for the Legacy season. They're literally Legacy heroes, you know? But, you know, clearly they're doing Korra versus Storm instead, which is fine. Like, I can see some people being disappointed, although I'm not sure how many people would be that excited for Korra versus Rey anyway. I know a lot of people really don't like Rey. So, I don't know, maybe people are actually really hyped for it. But either way, this is what we're getting. I'll definitely have my thoughts on that coming out, or it'll probably already be out. I'm not sure. The fact that the video... the Death Battle video isn't on YouTube yet might mean my scheduling gets a little, mixed up. But regardless, you know, I'll have a prediction at some point. But yeah, no, talking about this fight, though, it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's one of the best that Season 8 has to offer. It was still enjoyable. And I don't want to say like I was underwhelmed or anything like that, because there were a lot of cool things in the animation. I will say the animation kind of moved a little slow, but I guess that kind of makes sense with the 3D. Like they really want to like show everything in great detail. I guess it's easier for sprites to go faster or something, or it's easier for us to keep pace with that. I don't know. Regardless though, you know, it was still a fun enough animation. The analyses I thought, you know, were informative. They didn't hold too many things back. It was just as simple as, yeah, Khan had more power up his sleeve. There was more evidence he could just do more with his power. That made sense. That made enough sense to me. And yeah, you know, this fight, I didn't talk about this much in the prediction, but the fight idea, I didn't want to say it bothered me, but it did seem kind of weird again that like we already had both of these characters fighting other characters from each other's universe before, you know? So it kind of made it feel like, well, did we really need this fight? I get it's a really good update from, you know, the other two episodes, like showing how far they've come. They can analyze characters a lot better now. But I don't know. It just seemed like the kind of thing like, do we really want to use an episode slot to bring back two characters And I know you could say the same thing about like other universes like Marvel and DC. They fight each other all the time, you know. But still, I don't know. This is just one that I wasn't particularly hyped for, like one that I wasn't like, you know, super excited for. So I guess I don't want to say I came in wanting to hate the episode or anything like that. Absolutely not. But it's just nothing that I got super excited for. But this episode still was good enough. The problem, though, is that all the Season 8 episodes have been really good so far, or at least most of them have. This one, if I'm being perfectly honest, probably falls closer towards the bottom of my list, in terms of, like, ranking them. I'll have a video on that, like, after Season 8 is done. But even still, though, like, I still enjoy this one well enough. Like, it's still a fine episode. But I'd say it's probably more around, like, the average level of quality for Death Battle, as opposed to some of the other Season 8 episodes, like, you know, Dio versus Alucard, for example, the last one, which was just freaking amazing, you know? My opinion, of course. Either way, though, you know, I thought everything made sense. I thought the humor, you know, was alright, nothing too special or anything like that. I guess there's just not too much about this episode that stands out to me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But even still, I liked it well enough. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me, I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.